Hey everybody, welcome back to Dirty Water, Coins and Collectibles. We have our second nickel box hunt for the week. We do have circulated coins. We'll be looking for key dates, semi-key dates, buffaloes, V-nickels, errors, varieties, proofs, foreigns, everything else in between. So let's get right into it. I'm going to do the first 5 rolls, bring it back in if we have any finds. See you in a second. Alright, first 5 rolls have been hunted. We have a 1960 with the die chip again, just above the 0. We have a 1941 Philly, a 1957 Philly, and a 1959 Philly. And under the scope, I have a 2023 nickel, which is a best of variety, DDO001 on Wexler's or doubledie.com. So you can see right here, here, and here. And the C, that's doubled. Above the T, let's see if I can get it. Above the T is doubled. Right here. We have a little bit of doubling right in here on the right side doorway of the Monticello building. So you have it right in there. And you can see the doubling here, but not as good. If I zoom out, let's see. I go like that. You can see it clearly here. You can see it on the E, the C, and the T. So if you go to doubledie.com, click on nickels, and then you click on 2023, you'll be able to find this one here. It's DDO001, and it's a best of variety. So that's pretty cool. I've been looking for this one for a little while and just happened to cross it. All right, let's keep going. All right, roll 6 through 10. We got some pretty good finds. We have a 1977D, which is a decent strike. Check against the album. The reverse is a little beat up. 2004 Philly, 1946 Philly, 46 Philly, 49 Philly, 58 Denver, 57, what was that, 59, 57 Denver. I thought one of these was a San Francisco. Maybe that was a different one. Okay, so I have some that I want to show you under the scope here. Zoom out a little bit. So the first one is a 2016 grease strike. You can kind of see the mushiness here. Trust is semi-missing. We is missing a little bit. God in is a little mushy. See all the markings in his face. The grease lines there. And the reverse. Monticello is mushy. United States of America and 5 cents is all mushy. Monticello's mushy. There's a lot of mush going on here. Okay, the next one we have is a 1946. I think this was the San Francisco. This one has a lamination error, so you can see right here. This was all peeled off of the coin here. That usually happens with a alloy mixture. Doesn't mix right, and the coin separates, or the metal from the coin separates. That O looks funky, huh? So we have that. And then the awesome find, I have a 2023P again. It is not the DDR. You can see here, and most of you know what this is here. And we have a little bit right down in here. So when I flip this over, look at that. That's one of the best clashes I've found. You can clearly see his eye right there. So you have Jefferson's eye right here, another one right here. We have clashing in here, so that's part of his, I think his hairline. Look at that. That's awesome. Let's see if we can get it this way. He's kind of looking back at us. Trying to see if there's any other lines that form his head. See if there's anything up here. I don't see much up here. But yeah, that's crazy. That's an awesome die clash. So you can see it right in here. Right here, down here, right up in here. That's a great find. That's really cool. All right, let's keep going. Hope for more finds like that. That's what I really like to find. All right, see you on the next 5 rolls. All right, so I just opened up roll 14, and I'm looking at, what is it, the 2, 4, the 6th coin in is very rounded. I mean, it could be anything. It could be a dryer coin. I don't know, but let's see. I think it's this one right here. Yeah, it's just, let's see here. I don't know what that is. It could be a grease, like a severe grease strike, because there's a lot of rim left on that. I don't know. It looks, man, that thing is rough. I don't know. I think that could be damage just because of the rim. The rim is really rounded. I mean, I'll hold it aside, but just not sure. All right, I'll hold it aside. Let me get back into this roll. I'll bring you in after the 5th one. See you in a second. All right, rolls 11 through 15. We have our first foreign, 1986 Canadian. We have this 2020 Denver that looks like, I think it's damage just by the rim. The rim kind of makes it look like damage. We have a 1952 Philly, 1953 Philly, and a 59 Denver. Let's get into roll 16 through 20, and I'll bring you back with the finds. All right, just finished rolls 16 through 20. We have a 1947 out of Denver, and a 1958 out of Denver. And I have another 2023 under the scope. This one has a little bit of doubling. So here, right at the top of the eye, a little bit in the C, and a little bit right there in the E. So this could be an earlier state, a later one, I'm not sure. But I don't think this one is listed. It does have the doubling in the doorway there, but I'll hold it aside for now. It's not as good as that other one. All right, let's get through 21 to 25. Bring you back with the finds. Rolls 21 through 25 give us a nice 2001 out of Philly. There's almost no scratches or dings on this. It is full steps. We have a nice 1960, shiny and a good strike. We have one 1954 out of Philly, and I pulled aside this, where is it, 2005 with the Buffalo reverse, only because it kind of has like a reeded edge effect to it. Can't really see it, yeah, a little bit there. So I'm going to put on the scope. You can see it better here. So that's kind of weird. I don't know how that happened. It's not really a reeded edge. It just has kind of like die scratches where the collar would have been. So maybe it was a damaged collar. So I'm going to hold this one aside. If anybody knows anything about this, because I don't, let me know down in the comments. Alright, let's get through 26 to 30, and I'll bring you back with the finds. Alright, I'm on roll 28. I have a reverse facing Denver mint marked coin. I haven't looked. It's probably a 64, but I figured we could flip it over. Maybe see if we get a 38, a 39, a 50. Let's see. $61. All right. Just figured that was a little fun. Let me finish out this roll. I'll bring you back in when I get to roll 30. All right, rolls 26 through 30 have been hunted. We have a nice 1982. Some steps, not full steps. And again, the 1982s fall in tow with the 83s, where they did not make min sets. So if you come across any that are nice, you should probably hold them aside. Ideally, nice ones with full steps. Definitely pull those aside and keep those. So we have a nice 1963 out of Philly. It is not the DDR. We have a 1957 out of Denver and a 1959 out of Philly. Now, I pulled a coin aside that every time I find something like this, I am puzzled, because I know that the nickel does not have a copper core. So I don't know what these are. I mean, that looks copper to me. The color is consistent. So if anybody knows anything about nickels, because I'm not brushed up on nickels, how does this happen? How do you get a copper colored nickel? I'll put it under the scope. You can take a look at it. I mean, that is copper colored. I don't know if it's damage, if it's toned. We have blue there, so it could be some sort of toning. I just don't know. If you know how this happens, let me know, because I don't. There is some blue and yellow up there. So I'll hold this aside until I get an answer on this. Alright, let's get into rolls 31 to 35. I'll bring you back with the finds. Rolls 31 through 35. We have another Canadian, 1999. We have a 1947 San Francisco, a 1949 Philly, and a 1958 Denver. All right, let's get into rolls, what is it, 41? No, I'm sorry, 36 through 40. I'll bring you back with the finds. All right, I'm on roll 38 and just blasting through the coins. was going to say quarters, nickels. And I just noticed that we got a Buffalo. Let's see. And it looks dateless. Has 3 feathers. And I can't tell if there's a mint mark. Let's put it under the scope. In Denver. We got a Denver minted buff. It's worn, but not as rough as the one we found the other day. I don't think I can get a date off of here. I don't see it. All right, let's put this aside. I did find something in the roll before this one, 37, and I will show you that during this 5-roll wrap up here. So give me just a second. I'll see you when we do that. Maybe before that, who knows? Roll 40, just flattened her out. You can see it. We got another buff. Let's see if we get a date. Ooh, that might be readable. We got a cool lamination crack, it looks like, unless that's damage. Let's see. Maybe get a date off of that. Let's see if there's a mint mark. San Francisco. That's just damage, I think. It looks like an O. Maybe that's a Denver mint mark. Okay. Has all its legs. Let's see if there's... Man, I don't know. 18, 28, 38. I can't tell. All right, give me a second. Let's see if I can get my scope. My loop, sorry. All right, I'm at a loss for that one, but let's keep going. Bring you back in at the end of this roll. All right, 36 through 40 have been hunted. I pulled aside this 1965 just because I've never seen a strike that clean. Even in the date, it's usually fat, damaged, mushed in. I did weigh it. It does weigh 5 grams. So I just held it aside for that reason. We have another 2016 grease strike. There's a lot of stuff going on there. We have our dateless buffalo. And we're, I don't know, 1960, I don't know what that is. But anyway, there is a lamination error on there. But I did tell you there was a coin that I wanted to show you. And that is right here. It's a 1983 Philly. And if you look right here and here and right here and here, I'll do some more flipping here. We can just try to get some different angles. See there. Is anything on this side? Not much on the side of his face, but look at this. Check that out. So you have this here. We have that. We have right in here, this down here, that's his neckline. Look at that, that's awesome. So we get clashing here, here, and here. I don't think there was much. Yep, here we go. Right in here. That would be where his head starts. Let's see. Get anything on this area here? I'm not seeing. Maybe underneath the eye in 5. But that's cool. So we have a 1983 Philly with a die clash, reverse and obverse. All right. Let's keep at it. Go into rolls 41 through 45, and I'll bring you in with the finds. That's cool. See you in a second. All right, rolls 41 through 45. We have a 1940 Philly, a 1948 Philly, and you're never going to guess what else I found. 1983 Philly, marking here. We've got some down in here, kind of like a Z pattern. There is some clashing going on right in here. A little bit behind his head. Looks like maybe something in front of his eye. Yeah, a little bit clashing right here. And not much going on over here. When I flip it over, this side is pretty good. Trying to get a better, there we go. So you have the clashing here. I mean, you can see that with no problem. You have a little bit less on this side, but still clashing. So you have it, the jagged edge down here. You have that mark here again. More down here by the O, right in there. Just trying to see if there's any spots that I missed. But what are the odds of that? Excuse me. 2 1983 Philly clash dies. So I guess don't just keep your clean 83s. Look for the clash die 83s too. Because I'm going to start picking every one apart. That's cool. All right. Let's get into the last 5 rolls. I'll bring you in with the finds. 46 through 50, hunted. We have a 1940 San Francisco, a 1941 Denver, a 1957 Denver, a 1962 with a lamination error on the face, and then I have this 2023 Philly with a die chip, beehive die chip on the side of Monticello. All right. Let me get the wrap-up set up. I'll bring it back in. All right, 50 rolls hunted. Let's get into our recap. So for our foreigns, we have a 1986 Canadian, a 1999 Canadian. We have our nice coins. We had a couple of 1960s, 63, 77, 82, 2001, and a 2004. Our 40s, we had a couple of 1940s, a couple of 41s, a couple of 46s. That one looks like it has like a lamination error right there. A couple of 47s, a 48, a couple of 49s. We had 152, a 53, a 54, a few 57s, a few 58s, and a few 59s. I had this random, I don't know what this is, coin. This coin that I'm trying to figure out what's going on with it. It kind of looks coppery. Our dateless buffaloes, but buffaloes nonetheless. And then our fines, we have a lamination error, 1962. A lamination peel reverse, S-minted, 1946. Two 2016 grease errors. We had our two 1983s die clashes. We have this 2005, I don't even remember pulling this aside, but there's a giant die chip, die crack that runs from the rim under his chin. So that's kind of cool. Then we have our 2023 beehive die chip on the side of the Monticello building, right there. We have our not so good DDR. The T, the I, the C, and the E of Monticello have a little bit of doubling. This is our second one that is a better DDO, which is the best of variety on doubledie.com, DDO 001. And we have our Clash die for the 2023P. So you can kind of see his eye right under the doorway above the O, and there is more, you just can't see it from this right under the doorway above the I and the C. So that one's really cool. That's probably my favorite find of the hunt. And then the 83s for the Clash dies. Alright, well, if you like this hunt and you think you'd like to see my other videos, just hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you get notified on all of my upcoming videos. And please hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.